Hello. Uh, this forum is this time is we are talking in food design. So we are from in Korea in Korean University. Today we are talking in the four speakers. So first speaker is to me. So I'm explained in briefly. So I'm sharing the in file. Okay, today's topic is in food design. The language is English, a little Chinese. So we have 2 hours. Today's topic is in food service design, F&B design, coffee, and food culture. So we have in one speaker is in talking in 25 minutes. In last is we have some discussion. So today is in 4 speakers. In the first is in Younghwan. Is I'm belong to in Korea School of Technology Design in Korean University in Korea, and also I'm the president in Korea Service Design Council. The second speaker is in Professor in Jung Jinyeoul. He is also the professor in Korea School of Technology Design, Korean University. And the third speaker is in Jung Jinyeoul. He is in UTB Coffee, Singapore. He is a manager director. And last speaker is in Jang Wansok. He is a professor in Wuhan University of Technology School of Art and Design. The first is I'm talking in the food service design, exactly in food innovation and service design. Today I'm talking in food service design because is more and more is in the designers in market we have to think because for example, in China, in every year is in 500,000 designers in graduate the university, but actually not easy found in market. So that means is we have to think about what is in design, so what is in design market. So it's more and more design is in the invisible area, in innovation area, and also business area. So today I'm talking in the food service design is like this. Is in the food market is really big. So in designers in how to join in this market. So I'm thinking in service design process that is in very useful. So I'm today is talking in the design of design about in the food system. Service design is in Korea is in I think is in 20 years is in working. So the service design is very holistic and the multidisciplinary practice, and also the systematic way is the consider in full value chain. But in practically is in very that is in business oriented. That is is really working. That is important in service design. Service design is in is a two domain. Is I think is in the big is in talking in business design, service building, operation design. More focusing in design is in the research and design thinking and total design. Today's talking is in definition 1 is we are more of the big service design today talking. Is in food market is actually is a lot of in food market. Today's the study market is today is in the food tag is market in every year is very fastly increasing. Is every year is in the food tag is many delivery startups in data and also some startups and the digital narrative and vertical and also urban farming and robot and in personalization is a lot of issues in food tech. And also in is more and more important important in food in the agriculture also is many technology involving. So smart farm also is really many in agriculture in ecosystem. Also is many consider in technology in how to improve in their total system. So I'm talking today is in food service design. So I'm considering food service design. The first time is in the three market. Is one is in agriculture and food tech, and last is in food service. Basically is all the in food service design is in the basically is in user and culture based. So that is in today talking is in our in food service design. In agriculture area is in Korea is really is many government is in try to making in smart farm. Now is many the local government is try to making the in smart farm, and also now is some the big company is they own the smart farm system. Now is some the performance issues, but is every year in more and more is a good output. And also we are thinking that in the food so I'm talking the food service design. We are considering user and in culture. So in more and more is in Korea. Even though in China, more and more every year in old people is in more and more is many people. So so the food for in senior is like this is in tips, dietary tips is in England. So we also consider what is the in good food for the older people. So we are now in study. And also in is many people is a wrong information about the in food. So it's really many young people try to in unhealthy diet. So is really many people is in overweight, and also there are some problems, and also some people is in some problems in nutrition. So this is in really in total issues. Some in service design is making some in education program, or some is really helping some application. Is some companies in try. And also is I'm is in the second speaker is in talking in F&B business. So in F&B business is in not just in restaurant. It's actually now is many happening in the place making together. So that means is in attractive place is based on is attractive food. So basically it's many in food restaurant is really try to is make us very unique or very charming in restaurant, but also is more expanded in is many people try not just one restaurant, is they want to making some street, or some try is more big picture about in city. So they try to in F&B business and place making together. That is happening. So is one restaurant is they are making is there is good food, and also their good promotion, or some there are many in total design issues. And also there are some street is in not just one restaurant, is many restaurants together. How to the people come to in this street. Also this street is some meaning. Also some part is based in culture, some part based on the in just the restaurant. There is many viewpoint in location issues. And also we are more extended in some city, try to this city is really the food is really there in identity, or in there is some strategy for that city. So that is in today's talking in the restaurant, the street, in city. This is enhanced in their concept. Another point is in some tour is also important, because in is many restaurant is not just in going to in local people, is in especially some city or some street is really important in the tour people. Usually in tour people is in consider in 6 viewpoint is there as food, in accommodation, transportation, sightseeing, shopping, entertainment is there are usually tour people consider. The first thing is in food. So the food is also important in tour system. This is in the Jeonju. Jeonju is in Korea, is famous in the bibimbap. So that city, this food is important, and also in every year they have a festival. So many in tourists come to here, they enjoy the in food. And also this is in Kunming in China. Is we are going to in restaurant. Is they try to showing in their culture. That is also some not just the food. Is there are some the culture based. And also is today's I'm talking about the research in we are doing in some agriculture areas. We are some study about in city farm. So the city farm is we are some studied in hydroponic based. So hydroponic based is in there are 4 points. One is in what is a seed, what is a nutrient rich, and some product and service. So we are the first we are considered in is more and more in Korea is in the city the urbanization is in almost finished. So in almost in 80% of people live in city. So that means is in rural side in not many people is many people live in city. So the city farm is not just talking the in agriculture. That is in some more in natural or some they're green. So that is more meaningful, just not food. So we are designing some in some product for the in city farm. So we are making the in the palm tree. So we are making the in the 3D printer, and also we are in making some the vegetables. And also this system is not just one. We are more the thinking the in systematic. So this system is we are consider this is in very special seed. This is used in drugstore area. So this is we are is like this is we are making some design in total area. So we consider in what seed is important is how to making the breed in the vegetables, what how to make the in this planting, and also we are considering service. Service example is like this. This is in school. Is in also very young kindergarten. Is in they really experience their in food in their own making. So this is in one the scenario in service scenario. So that is like this. So today's I'm talking the in service food service design is in there are in I'm talking the in three things. The first is in designers in have to expand their in opportunities, and second is in service design is very useful in this area. So I'm today very briefly talking in agriculture area or food tech area in food service area. So this is I think is very challenging in design department. So in our school is in the master and PhD program, the English School of Technology Design in Korean University. So we are now studied in this kind of area is we want to make in some labs in this domain. So today I'm sharing in our some thinking. Okay, today I'm talking. Thank you. Second speaker is Professor Jung.
Yes. Hello.
Thank you.
Professor Ban, it's good to hear from you. It's kind of a good time to share a kind of your vision also. And then now it's my turn. Let me share. Hi guys, my name is Jinyeoul Jung. My friends call me Jin Jung. Okay, I'm professor of the Kookmin University. Basically, I'm graphic designer, and I worked for the graphic design during 10 years, and focus on branding, and then also, oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Sorry. There is some problem there. Okay, again. And then I also do service design, and then the local design is kind of community and public design. Today, I'm focusing about how the service design and a kind of the basically visual design impact on the food industry during the past 10 years. During past 10 years, food industry in Korea is really rapidly changed. It's huge change moment we had. So we look about how it changed in my viewpoint. So I just thinking about what is kind of the 3 point. It is my idea, so I'm not sure it is true or not. First is invest from the major company, SSG, it's a Shinsegae. Yes, Shinsegae SSG, yeah. And then CJ, 제일제당, these two group from the Samsung, the group. And then second is the innovation of the O2O, the online to offline business, Baemin and Silent Order from the Starbucks. I just, it's a sample. Three is the young generation of the medium-sized food company. It's kind of the generation changes. So I think this 3 point is kind of important. The first is invest from the major company. How to say that? Before 2010, I mean, the food industry still were there, but there is a little bit for the kind of medium-sized kind of company, they cover about that area. But that time, around 2010, it changed. The first thing is like this one. So Shinsegae was a kind of the department store, huge department store. And then 2012, they start SSG food market in Cheongdam. Cheongdam is kind of the hottest area in Seoul city. They start the flagship store in Seoul. It is not kind of like kind of just the luxury department store. It's kind of food market, and then they designed every detail. It's not just kind of logo and the package, even this ribbon, and then their uniform, and then a kind of attitude like a department store. Oh, no. So they and kind of stylists, every kind of human resource they just use. At 10, this is the kind of advertisement of the e-mart. E-mart also the part of the public kind of the mart of the Shinsegae. In here, you know, as you see, they just kind of talking about the good value of each product. But here, 2012, SSG, the launching advertisement, they just talking about the charming point, kind of the, it's kind of image of what we have. It's not kind of talking about what the advantage. So now you look like on here, it's kind of every product has the same logo in here. So it seems like their own product, but not really is. Actually, each product from the local product, local farmer and local the companies, but they just changed their logo in maybe some people they don't have a logo and then they just get their kind of product and then they have a kind of their select process and then they take a kind of their logo system on their product. That is the kind of it passed the kind of their compound process. What different from the other kind of the previous kind of process? Previous process is they just get the medium-sized company's product on their kind of market, their showcase. But here they just focusing on basically four points in here. So there is some master product. So there is 10 or 12 years old kind of the master is there. So they just accept about a kind of very famous product in here. And organic is potato and sweet potato. Just prove about organic itself. Fresh 1 day or 2 days, just only the perishable kind of the fruits in here. And natural. It's for the make soup. Sometimes we just using artificial ingredient we sometimes use, but just natural ingredient. It's just focusing about that things. So this page is saying about everything. This is kind of opening poster, the fresh, local food, organic, that's it. And here their poster, they pride, devoted, belief. In here about, they say about 25 years traditional, the farmers here, traditional way of to develop like that. So this is, and then this kind of logo talking about that, the proof. Sorry about that. So in here, sort of the kind of whole idea, trusty, safety, convenient. So it's not just luxury. It's maybe highly, it looks like luxury, but sort of the whole process and whole kind of item, these three things is kind of there. So, and then the other CJ is a little bit different. 2010, they started a kind of global brand, Bibigo. It's kind of first global brand they have, and then they are kind of launching about kind of the global store in the New York, London, all over the world. It is they have a kind of some achievement in there, and then it's a Sai, he had successful things in there. They also have a kind of successful story. Now the Bibigo brand is part of the huge part of the Jeiljedang CJ, and then it is a starting point. And then after that, they launching about new brand in there, and and they also have a CJ Food World. Yes, Food World. 10 names saying about everything. They open about this kind of the food world everywhere. Department store and then something theme park everywhere. It's before that time, 2010. It's this kind of major company. They cannot kind of open like this one because the government a little bit kind of the make kind of barrier. The big company cannot kind of be in the kind of food industry like this. We about globalism. In that way, we change our kind of economic system and idea. It's definitely changed. And then we also, it's some part of the growth of the youth service industry is growth of the youth service industry there. And then also we had some, how to say that, it's crisis of food in 2004 bird flu and 2008 mad cow disease. And then people get a kind of some sensing about the crisis awareness, say food is important, everybody know, but it's before that time, food is everywhere. It's daily life, part of our life. It's too close. It's important, but we not how to say it, feel it. But after this, our people feel like, oh, this is important. And then after this, the kind of the company and business a little bit kind of thinking a little bit differently. Oh, okay, food and this kind of businesses have a very big potential to be being a kind of big business. So food plus trusty, safety, convenient, and wellness, entertainment. And then next step is possible. So, and then food in business is getting the bigger and bigger in this way. And second thing is, it's the IT business, O2O. The Baemin is kind of the leading company at the time. 2010, it's kind of almost same time, is they launching first version of the app. It's kind of simple. They just wanted to make a kind of connection, relationship between the kind of restaurant and the kind of delivery kind of man. It's that time, the other kind of competitive the company was there, but why Baemin is kind of successful? Yeah, there is many kind of comparable point like business or kind of advantage or kind of discount something, but most kind of the comparative point was their kind of the culture. Because their visual language, who gonna using a kind of the IT app and then who gonna using a kind of delivery the app. So usually 20 and 30 ages old people, younger guys. So easy to access the app and programming, and then also they deliver kind of this kind of the food. So they using about kind of the funny, the very unique and fun marketing. It's very humorous and very, the very familiar and very closing a kind of their generation language. And then it's gonna be very huge effect to their culture. So people using this kind of the language and copywriting, and then also they make this the typeface, and then people use this typeface make kind of their own promotion and their kind of the things. So this is gonna be a kind of characteristic kind of the visual for that generation. Actually, the CEO, he graduated our school, yes, and then he designed this typeface, when he was our school, basically. Anyway, so these three kind of the major web, the competitive, and then under the corona situation, and then these kind of the company, they have their own the direct delivery system in there, and or even the coffee shop, they also they make kind of their own delivery system app. The one kind of noticeable the app is Starbucks. Actually, Starbucks has their own the famous app, Silent Order. Actually, this is developed by the Starbucks Korea, 2003, 4 something, and then it is really populated at the time. And then the Starbucks USA, they accept this idea. Now they apply about their own kind of the function. It's very very simple. So you can use this app, and then you can organizing about your taste. And then you don't need a kind of waiting the line, and then what is important for the company. So if you wanted to use this app, you should buy your card. So you have to prepay your amount of the money, and then you can use this one. So like this one, this kind of the prepay is almost half of the Starbucks the wholesale. It's huge. So it's easy for the kind of customer, and then it's kind of really big advantage for the company. So nowadays it's really popular idea. And then last thing, I think those thing is a kind of the big game, and then last thing is more like a kind of the second generation, next generation kind of game. So it's now it's times changes. moment of the change, and second generation of the medium-sized food company. So they also changed their game. So for example, Samjin Omuk is kind of fish cake. It's when you grinding the kind of fish and then then make kind of the cake. How to say that? It is a kind of food for ordinary life. In our country, our ordinary kind of food is simple. We have the rice bowl, and then we have several kind of side dish, and then this fish cake is the kind of the really usual side dish. Okay, so it's really usual and daily food. So there is not a kind of the expectation, or there is not a kind of the gap to increase. Can you get what I'm talking? I mean, so this kind of the market size is not so small because everybody eat it, but it's not a kind of big possibility to growth. So the company, they'll share about their kind of market evenly. So this is 2009, the Busan fish cake market. But kind of second generation is a son of the company. He think a little bit differently. My father, the managing the business like that way. But in my generation, I don't want to like that. I want to change a little bit differently because I like bakery. How about changing my shop like bakery style, like that? Okay, so he basically changing the shop interior like this one, all clean, and then the style of the display like bakery shop, and then also the display of the promotion like this way, and then he this is a station. He just launching about kind of the other flagship store in Busan Station. It is first time to, because it's a fish cake shop. It was like street food, but they launching about shop in the Busan Station. It is a kind of not a kind of usual things. It's really unusual, but it is a really super mega hit. But the interior is changed. It's not just looking changed. It should follow something like this. Their kind of menu also changed. They're not even thinking about, imagine about the fish cake can be gift. They made a kind of gift for the holiday. And then it also hit the kind of the moment. And then the contemporary style, and then also they make kind of the koroke, that we can say koroke, like kind of fried things. And then they changed their kind of the wholesale. Oh yeah, it's a huge change. But it's not just like that one. It's not just the only case. Nowadays, it happens everywhere. So maybe this is she's maybe mom, I'm not sure. And then the son or maybe daughter, so a little bit easy to eat, daily kind of the consume. And then here, Pungi Ginseng, it's Insam. It's a long history, maybe like this one, 50 years ago. And then here, more modern and contemporary style. Also kind of use startup. Yes, Ham. Basically, the CEO, he also graduated our school. He was a designer. Now he designs just a small anyway. So he's starting designer, but he also met his friend and then starting this business. And then this is the Japanese tea, but the changing a kind of the visual language like very contemporary style. And then, the crowdfunding is kind of the popular in our country also. So tea is here, and then illustrated style of the each street of the Seoul city, and then diet kind of the food, and then a bit of the kind of familiar style for the younger generation, and then they try to be close to kind of the next generation. What I believe to, it seems just graphical branding and visual design, but I believe it also part of the service design, and it also part of the kind of the food design, because the generation is changed, and that their habit of the eating the kind of the food is changed. So the how to approaching their kind of the style, the lifestyle, how to approaching their lifestyle also should be changed. Okay, so I'm not sure. Like this one, other things like this. It's peach, but pink, and then contemporary style. It's chocolate, but design is more modern style. Maybe next, I'm not sure how it is changed. Maybe after 10 years, I don't know, basically. But it should be changed, and then but during a kind of 10 years, for example, the case what I kind of showed there, the kind of leadable kind of project team leader was the designers, basically three of them. Maybe I'm totally sure next also we should have a kind of role, important role of a kind of the next step. That is we expecting that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker is in John Bar. He is in real business in coffee area. He is now is working in Singapore. That is in the senior manager in UTB Coffee in Singapore. Now he is in Singapore. There are maybe some network issues, but we are trying. Professor Jung.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm the managing director of the UTB Coffee, and then today I'm present for the behalf of my friend Mr. Kim. He is the founder of the UTB Coffee, Korea. So now what we would like to say is actually everybody when we start a cold brew coffee, it's a very difficult to item for the selling the C, and then we have a business have a lot of difficulty to distribution these products to the world, but we have a perspective for the comprehensive perspective in the design. The Kim actually designed this business as a kind of a business design. So let's start with our company introduction, because I think it's helping your understanding for the things. Yeah. So UTV Copy actually starting with design company, and then the Kim actually graduated from the Kookmin University Design, and then he's friend of the Mr. Professor Jung, and then please move to the next page. I think, yeah, then it's slowly starting with from the design company to starting to the coffee company, because Kim has an idea how design this business to the coffee, and then the coffee, especially in the cold brew, many people say it's impossible to mass production, and then also how you deliver to all over the world. But he designed some business, and of the products designed to production, and also how delivery and distribution to the another country from the Korea. Can you move to the next page? So yeah, he designed first thing is from the starting of the how choose the coffee bean and the how reload and the how quality control and the how extraction to the cold brew and the how maintain the safety and then also the quality is equally distribution from Korea to around the world. To the next page. Yeah. So we have many kinds of the certificate from HACCP for the food safety, because this one was first time in the when it's a beginning is already 14 years, and then after that have organic and fair trade. So now you lovely see the also our packaging design. We try to make our products is more add value in the market, and then because the coffee actually coffee we just think mix concept with the coffee product and then coffee shop brand products, because we know the Starbucks and then Coffee Bean, many famous brand, the coffee shop, but this is a shop brand name. It's not product of coffee. So what we do is in coffee product itself, we try to put the add value with the cold brew, because cold brew is very unique products, and then many people say it's a fad, but actually it's not. Still it's almost 20 years. It's a still growing market in coffee. Can you move the next page? Yeah. So add value for the coffee product to the cold brew, and then we set up 3 major country. Now we have one more in Thailand. So we Korea and China and Singapore, and then Korea and China we have a production line, but Singapore we have a keep stock, the cold brew 5 tons. So we distribution in the Southeast Asia market, and recently we open developing one country, Thailand, and then we also start the setting of the factory. Yeah, move to next page. Yes. So actually, many people say, "What's a cold brew coffee?" and what's a Dutch coffee and cold brew coffee, and then Kyoto coffee and water drink coffee. Actually, it's a brewing method. It's actually we call it all cold brew. Move next page. Yes, cold brew actually because of the extraction method, we don't use any the hot water. So the cold brew have a very unique taste, and then easy drinks, and then also it's very crafted products in the food section. Yeah, going to the next page. So okay, let I define what's the cold brew and then what hot brew. The hot brew actually easily say just an espresso coffee or espresso variation is a hot brew coffee, and then cold brew is a cold brewing. So simply say the cold brew coffee extraction with the cold coffee, and then hot brew is using the hot water with the espresso machine, and then cold brew actually we 12 to 12 to 24 hours to extraction, but hot brew, the espresso is meaning is very fast, so it's few minutes can serve. And also cold brew is very unique taste. It's very different from hot brew, because hot brew we use the hot water in the coffee, so many other tastes also coming out from when in the brewing process. So but this cold brew with using cold water or ambient water, so this is less bitter and then less acidic, because this is no temperature. I mean, it's a no hot temperature, so the coffee, the many character of the coffee can keep inside, and then it's very cleanly brewed compared with the hot water. And also the cold brew not using hot water, so it's very natural sweet taste, and then also it has a longer shelf life compared with the hot brew coffee. Hot brew coffee you have to drink hours. You have to enjoy flavor and the flowery taste in the coffee. And the cold brew has a lot of using a lot of coffee. Yeah, actually we say cold brew is the fourth wave in the coffee industry. So the consuming of the cold brew is very fastly increased from 2012. Can you move next page? Can you move next page? Yeah, as you see, from the 2011 to 2016, the cold brew market increased 580 over percent. So very fast increase, and then still in 2020, the cold brew market is still growing especially in South Asia market. Next page. Yeah. Yeah. So cold brew also very famous with the new generations. They actually, this is what we point of our design and marketing. So we just talking about just kind of the one beverage or drinks, and we make it the cold brew coffee more add value, and then this is also present of the new generations drinks. And also we in the few the next page I explain, we also are focusing on the natural coffee, and then also RTD is a ready to drinks. There's many of the ready to drinks cold brew is coming out. Yeah, can you move next? Can you move to the next page? Yeah. Now many people asking what's a nitro coffee. Actually, nitro coffee simply defined with a cold brew and then infusion with nitro gas inside. So it takes very smooth texture when in the mouth, and then also the product presentation also very nice, because some people say it's a beer, or some people say it looks like sometimes with a milk coffee, but actually it's not. It's a black coffee. So nitro coffee actually open another generation of the cold brew market. So our company also, how we distribute this nitro coffee to around the world. So actually we success in Singapore and Thailand. We developing and design new technology to how distribute this product from the Korea to Southeast market. So actually in Singapore, for example, we now our customer is around the 25 customer. They using our nitro coffee in the shop. So in the total shop is 60 over shops they using our products. Yeah, and then next thing in cold brew business design wise, we focusing how we make a mass production. So there's actually two major the cold brew production. One is just the brewing, and then second is cold drip. The brewing is you just say it, you just think this is like a tea. So you put in the screen the coffee in the screen bag, and then just put in the container, and then the cold drip is slowly dripping uh, the water on the coffee bed. So what is different? The brewing is actually many Starbucks also using brewing, just a brewing method, but our company using a water drip. So what difference is a brewing? You can make a mass production very easily, but you very difficult to control the taste, and also it's a high caffeine, and also the concentration we call it bricks. The how concentrate the coffee. The brewing is brewing method is less concentration. So water drip we using high bricks, 4.5% bricks. So water drip method have a many application for the beverage and drinks. So we use the water drip. Can you move next page? Yeah. Also, we design how we brewing in China factory and Korea factory, and then distribution in the safe condition, because the cold brew coffee is using cold water. So actually the sanitize and then also food safety is a big issue all around the world. So there's a UHT, LTLT, and then HPP. They kind of the process we call it the kill the germ in the products, and then lead to the food safety. Now I have a more developing products. So these kind of things we how sterilize our products, and then distribution in the world. Yeah. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Okay. The last speaker is in Jang Wansok. He is in professor in Wuhan University of Technology, and also the research professor in Grad School of Technology Design in Green University.
Okay. Okay, is it working?
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Wansok Jang from Korea. Nice to meet you guys. what I want to share with you today is beauty, taste, and love. Yeah. And we are going to lightly today. Food is essential for us, and also appetite is a basic instinct for humans. So I think something basic instinct. It's like love, taste, beauty, and something. Have you ever seen the movie featured on the right? This film is directed by Leon, called Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, maybe 1994 or 1995. It's a film that reminds people of basic human instincts for design, food design, and love. If you have not seen it yet, please see it. Yeah. And next, we have 5 senses. Yeah, as you know, each side: hearing, smell, taste, and touch. And there are 5 colors in nature. We are different from each other as we eat the colorful food. So long time ago, Confucius said their nature are much the same. Their habit become widely different. And another sentence: food is what you feel with your 5 senses. So the good sound is not in the ears. The good taste is not in the mouth. So the joy is double when food is shared with family and friends. I want to remind these words. This might sound abstract and metaphysical, but if you ponder it, you can feel the depths of its meaning. And now, this time, in visual is changing the world. The world is changing rapidly. An era of industrialization has passed and has become an era of information and culture. And through economic and scientific development, people are thinking a lot of health and well-being. And this time is new media and food. This is internet plus and new media continue to be created in this era. And internet plus new media is creating new content by combining food. In recent years, eating and drinking broadcast on YouTube and global platform media have become popularities. Several years ago, from China, user use Bilibili station and TikTok something. Yeah. In the 21st century, internet plus new media began to become popular with personal homepage and blog. Recent years, general users have been broadcasting personally using YouTube and global platform media. There are various programs on this platform, among which food-related programs are gaining popularity. Some programs eat huge amount of food that cannot be eaten alone. I think originally the act of making and eating food is not just for the individual survivors, but it is premised on sharing with someone. The main role of food is to share food with family, friends, and people around you, share affection and form relationships. Some programs visit regions or countries to introduce and experience local food. People who watch the broadcast visit the restaurant that appeared on the broadcast, eat them, and interact with them. Others make ensure their own dishes on private broadcast. After watching the broadcast, ordinary people try various dishes like a chef themselves. So cooking is no longer the exclusive property of chefs, and everyone can be designer. People who eat food also jump into direct, indirect experience and take interaction as important. People who ate food didn't just say that just dishes were tasty or tasteless. They began to enjoy narrative storytelling in the process. The design field is integrating various fields, and food is also being fused with design, expanding into food design. So in Korea and China, other global country, food related personal broadcasting is rapidly increasing and gaining very high popularity. Something we can show. Let me show you something. Some this and this in China. Some reason. Yeah. Yeah, like this. And this time is cross-culture plus fusion food. Food culture exchange and research in the East and West are constantly creating new food. And finally, I'd like to conclude with the following words. Yeah. Discerning food experience design. Humans feel as much as they know and see as much as they feel. If you love, you will know. If you know, you will see. Then what you see will not be the same as before. And so 2020, this year with COVID-19, people in all countries all over the world are tired. Many people think it will be hard to return to before COVID. Now we have reached the age of after COVID, and we will have to think deeply about how to keep my life healthy, share food with family and friends, and talking. I wish you all happy, all healthy, and this. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Today is we have a talking in the food design. So first is I'm talking in the food service design. That means is in designers in possible to make value in food design area. So that means is in designers is have a more opportunity. And second speaker is in Professor in Jung Jinyeoul. He is really showing especially in Korea is really the design the is really make the in real value in food industry. And the third speaker is in he showing the real business. So actually the UTB Coffee the CEO is his background in design. So he is really understanding design. So he making the business design, and also is all in the service system. Also is like in design thinking. So he showed in coffee industry is really the in designers in how to business. So that is in real example. The last speaker is in Professor Jang. He is in talking in food and culture, and also he talking in the media. Actually, in the many people showing their life in about in food, and also he is talking in food experience. So today we are talking in the four speakers about in food and design. Now we are some discussion sections. So uh, uh, there are some question or some we also some discussion that in some topic. The first topic is in all the three is in the design school professor. So in the food area is really the designers is how to make the value. So it's many experience in Professor Jung Jinyeoul. So how do you feel the really the designers is what kind of role, what kind of value is in some your experience explain?
Um, uh, the actually it's one of a kind of the experience I have. I mean, I heard about kind of the CEO of Kim Bong-jin. He is the CEO of the Baemin, the 배달의 민족, the 배달의 민족, the app. He now just focus about food tech, we say, food technology now. So they develop about kind of the robot design to delivery system, and then also kind of the real food technology to nutrition problem. But the other side, I'm just thinking about kind of the way of eating is changing now. Especially, it's a siren order. One of my students, he's a student, and then he usually in morning wake up, he order about kind of the sandwich and coffee with a kind of siren order, and then just grab it, and then it's a kind of in the class, before class, just get it. Maybe it's and then me just get a kind of the gimbap. It's just like $3 something, and then he get a kind of more than $15 something, and easy, better. I mean, it's very different. That the generation they think that kind of the expense is valuable to get that food. You understand? So the kind of way to see the what kind of value they can get it from the morning and then the breakfast and then how they get it, it's changing. Way of the eating is changing. That means like that's what the lady so that kind of the approaching is design can support. Can you get it? Like so for example, in my class, I asked the students, so it's breakfast is important, but traditionally our parents think about kind of healthy food, healthier kind of breakfast is there is a typical way in there, but same nutrition, same kind of things, but how about different style, different way? Could we make kind of different style? But designer can do. I mean, maybe there is the technology or food, we can say the food tech, but packaging style or kind of the way to eat, it might be changed. So we can do that, I think. I mean, but we should kind of co-working with a kind of different kind of the professional team. So that always happen. And then they also, we need a kind of I'm not sure if it is right or not.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Zhang. So you are many the experience in China. So you are is really many eat in China food. And also you are also in Korean, so you are many in eat in Korean food. So the explain in your about in the food culture in Korea in China. So you are very fluent in Chinese, so speaking Chinese okay. So you are experienced about in Korea, China, in the food culture.
Yeah. Actually, I came to China, and I have a long time live in China and Korea. So, but nowadays, I think it's not before COVID. So I don't know how can we going to reach after COVID. But I think we can do that. We can do it. We have to think. We can. We make our healthy and happy. This is very important. Yeah, I think after COVID, when we going to that time, I think we all coming to China. We share Chinese food, and we are talking. These times we will issue. I think. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so so in designer is already the consider in user. So actually, the many company they making some product or service already consider in user, especially in localized issues. So the UTB is in the works in Korea, in China, and Singapore. So Zomba is your experience is in the coffee is there are some daily life. So in the South Asia, in some the people's in the behavior attitude in also in Korea. So what is the difference? Is your experience? Is possible to explain?
Yeah. Now in Singapore, many coffee industry open a shop. They present many things for lifestyle. So they deeply related to their coffee drinking is making their lifestyle, and then they also make it as a concept of the shop, and also drinks, and also design wise, they focusing more on the daily drinks. So it can be coffee, but sometimes it's related to the health, also and also life, how we drinks. But drinks is drink, but how is related to our life better. This is one of the issue in Singapore, and then actually it's a very works because the coffee is drinks, but it has a lot of cultural things and also emotional things, and also our life is related because many people start with drinking coffee, and then also they in the working hours they drinking coffee, but this makes them wake up, but one daily life. So I think in that point also is related to the design wise, how comfortable approaching to the product to the people's life related. So our company also thinking of this. So recently we opened one shop in Singapore, but the name is Urban Table. But it's a more we focusing on daily lifestyle and more spacious shop. The experience is in even Singaporean not experienced in Singapore, because Singapore coffee shop very small and tiny, and they sit together very closely. But because of the COVID-19, then now they have a gap. But in Korea, but on the other hand, Korea shop nowadays big, spacious, and then much distance from each other, then more comfortable place. Yeah, so we also do this. It was very experiment, but now it's very famous. Very famous. Yeah. So we also thinking everything is a localized and design wise and concept wise. Yeah. That's
Okay.
all. Thank you.
One more question, Professor Jung, is you are many experience in local design or community design. So the place making or some food, so some relation or some experience. So talking about in place making the in food.
Interesting. I mean, before starting this question, I also having some questionary thing in my mind. I mean, I'm thinking about kind of the how to say that, like scarcity, it's a 신세계, yeah. Like that kind of the huge, the mall, and between the kind of the local tourism, okay? So how they have a kind of the good relationship. So when they are launching about the Star City Mall, I mean they not just kind of the how to say that, the franchises, the restaurant is there. So in the lower level, they just bring local kind of market in their kind of the lower level, the low floor. So local famous kind of small the restaurant, you understand? So it's a little bit weird for me. Okay, so that means when I visit the Star City then mall, I don't need to visit the other area, just Star City, and parking there, and then enjoy there half day, and then get back. And then I don't need get around any other kind of the area in the city or the town, just there. So it is a kind of the so Star City, they doing a kind of good relationship with a kind of local boundary, or they against, or they just isolated with a kind of local boundary. This is my question again. What do you think about Banyangwan?
It's really, yeah. So in the play actually is not some network issues. Is okay. Anyway, one more explain one more please.
I mean, Star City, and it's really huge kind of the mall, the shopping mall, and then they have it's in the kind of first floor, second floor. They just bring a kind of the famous the which one general restaurant. It's kind of the famous kind of restaurant from the generally, but the downstairs they also select kind of the little bit famous restaurant in local area.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah.
So I don't need a kind of visit the other restaurant in the local area.
Yeah.
I just need to go there and then just interesting about kind of local, I don't need that. Just go there. You understand? So maybe the Star City is thinking about, oh, I wanted to help the local restaurant, even the small things. So just they bring them there, and then local restaurant, maybe they get some money from that, the kind of the brunch from there. Can you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's in some two things. One thing is urbanization is like centralization. Also, some is in the rural side is like is localization. It's like very similar in globalization and localization. Globalization is very it's very easy to make a big value, but that is impossible to in sustainable. Actually, not easy because, for example, is in always in centralization is very efficiency, but is like a big impact. It's like in COVID, something happening.
Yes.
In all is at the same time in crisis. So I think it's always in the people's in need in diverse. So I mean is in the localization is more good. I mean is already happening in together in the centralization and localization in together. So that is each in benefit. So I feel is in the future is more and more the localization is more important because in people that is in sustainable point that is more natural. So
I mean, basically like that, but I mean, what I consider about that, I mean, in local, also in real kind of situation, local area needs a kind of the big money. And that means not just big, it's kind of the kind of power to motivating, starting, okay? You understand? So, I mean, I just thinking about how to be a kind of balancing or get a kind of harmonizing. It's kind of the for example, Starbucks, it's sometimes Starbucks is kind of a little bit of kind of banned or kind of sometimes problem, the kind of the merging whole market, the coffee market from the kind of local area. But I still thinking about the Starbucks is kind of the iconic kind of point, how that the coffee market is populated in that area. You understand? But how they make a kind of good relationship? Okay, so what kind of role Starbucks can get in there, and then local the cafe, how they make kind of some relationship. I mean, it is not kind of easy, but it should be kind of solved. Not just kind of cafe. I mean, like the Star City and the other kind of the area. And then how the kind of big company can survive and then get kind of happy, but same time local kind of the market or local store get happy. It should be some the way, but yeah, that is my kind of consideration now.
That is very complex issues. Okay, so in today is in we are this section is in we are talking almost in 1.5 hours. So today is in finishes our section. So each speaker just in the like in last one sentence. So anybody is in talking, just to say hello.
Say hello. Say hello.
Thank you that this forum because in we are is in design background because in we want to in designers in more opportunity. So that is we are making this section. Thank you for listening to this section. Okay, just
okay. Thank you. See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you one day.
See you one day.
See you.
See you in Beijing.
Singapore.